Welcome to Family Peace Initiative's Curriculum Blips. In this podcast, we provide fast and easy resources for facilitators using the FPI suite of curricula to help you prepare before stepping into a group room. Whether you're brand new to BIP facilitation or using drive time to refresh yourself on familiar concepts, these blips are intended to help you get in the right frame of mind as you head into group. You'll hear from seasoned staff and FPI curricula authors on the key concepts and goals of each lesson, as well as what to expect from group members in these conversations. Today, we're starting Section 6 on Parenting with Respect. Steve Halley, co-founder and co-director of the Family Peace Initiative, guides us through the experiential activity, Introducing a Parent. Let's get right to it.
Section 6, Week 1. We're now walking into the world of parenting with respect. A really important section. It's 3 or 4 weeks within the Battering Intervention Program, the Professional Facilitator's Guide. And years ago when we were running this type of a program, there wasn't a parenting section in there, but we kept getting so many questions from the participants about how to handle parenting, tell us about parenting. People in Battering Intervention desire to be good fathers, they desire to be good parents, and if we can give them some information that would help them along that way, then that's fantastic. What we decided to do was to take a look at how do we get into the subject and what are the most important parts to be teaching. And we thought it was first a valuable place to start the Introducing Caretaker activity. That if you're listening to this, you might have been to our Art of Facilitation, the Level 1 Facilitator training, where we practice Mad, Sad, Glad, and Afraid by introducing a caretaker. And that's what we're doing. We're putting 2 chairs up in the front of the room. Participants will get up and sit in one chair, and they will pretend, they will imagine that the person that they're introducing is sitting in the second chair. And to my surprise, this even works online. You can get people to just visualize that there's someone sitting beside them. On a Zoom screen, people can actually do this psychodrama effectively. With any kind of emotional processing, activating process that we implement, right, we want the facilitators to go first. We want them to lead by example and set a bar. And when we set a bar, we're trying to pursue an emotional vulnerability, inviting the participants to follow suit. And so a facilitator would get up and they would introduce a caretaker. And then after that, the facilitator would step out of the 2 chairs and would invite the group participants to come forward one at a time and introduce somebody who was an important caretaker to them. And what we know is that this really does become an emotionally activating piece for the group participants, but it also is an opportunity for the group to hear other people's stories and begin to relate, I'm not alone, it's not just me, I'm not crazy, there's others who have had experiences similar to mine. And we begin to examine the generational aspect of cruelty, the river of cruelty as it flows through the generations. People are introducing their caretakers, they're talking about one thing that they're mad, sad, glad, and afraid about. And then in upcoming weeks, then we will move towards the other generations, their own experience growing up, and then they'll talk about their own kids' experience growing up. And so we're connecting multiple generations, trying to illustrate the river of cruelty in action. I think it's really important pursuing safety with the participants in the room is that they know what they're going to get asked when they're done. As facilitators, I know that many of us struggle with, oh my gosh, I see an opportunity to ask a really good question. I want to ask about your, when your mother was not gone, whatever it would be. But I think that there's always time for that in our approach. And so when they're up there in this vulnerable space, when they get done, we're just going to ask them a couple questions. How are you feeling right now? Mad, sad, glad, or afraid? What's going on in your body? How are you feeling right now? What's the feeling coming up? And then when they identify, I'm feeling kind of sad and afraid, whatever it would be, the next question is, what is that mostly about? What's the sad mostly about? What's the afraid mostly about? Just breaking those feelings down a little bit. And then asking them, is there anything else that you would like to say? How are you feeling right now? What's that mostly about? Is there anything else you would like to say? And at that point, it's thanks. I appreciate it very much. And when they say no, they're done. But if they say, well, yeah, as a matter of fact, and they start talking about their person a little bit more, and when they get done with that little wave of thought, then it asks the same questions again. How are you feeling right now? Mad, sad, glad, or afraid, and what's that mostly about? And is there anything else that you would like to say? And my goal in this section is to try to get the whole group to be able to go through this in one class. We don't really want to come back to class and have to do 5 or 6 more people before we get into the next section of parenting. We can do it. If we have to do it, we will. But the more classes that you spend on any emotionally charged activity, the kind of more energy you lose on the activity, and it starts becoming less and less valuable as you go. And so this whole section is just an introduction to parenting. We want to free up the room and help elevate safety so that people can talk about their own parenting practices and what their children have experienced. And so developing safety by inviting vulnerability is a great start to a really good section of the curriculum. It's one of my favorite classes. We've plugged it in at different parts of the curriculum, but it seems to fit very nicely as kind of the doorway, the segue, the archway into respectful parenting. And so I'll talk to you more about the second section here in the next curriculum blip. Thanks.
Thanks for preparing for your group with us today. If you have questions, stucks, or if there's a section of the curriculum you'd like to hear us explore in more detail, we'd love to hear from you. Email us at reception@familypeaceinitiative.com or submit a contact form on our website. Family Peace Initiative, working to serve our clients and community with compassion, integrity, and expertise.